Hey, hello there. This is going to be a manual for the brick wall generator. It is a new tool that I've been working on, and I will be going over all the parameters that you can use now. I also have a little cold, so my voice is a little bit broken, but I'm gonna show you anyway how this is going to work and how you can use this tool. So if you see here, this is a wall with a lot of parameters on them, so it is also animated, and you can easily start doing these things with this tool. So you can map all kinds of colors and patterns onto this wall to create your own architectural situations. So if we put this on pause and we go into the wall bricks, as you can see here, I will turn off all these things, and then we are going to go over them one by one what they do. So here we have a brick wall. I also turn off the double brick. This is just a regular wall that you can make. We also have mortar that you can put in between, and we have also a measurement for it. So you can say, oh, I want a little bit more or less mortar. This doesn't really work when you go make crazy patterns as I just did. So then you can turn it off. But basically what you have here is all in all the general settings. You can just make very long bricks or very high bricks if you want. So that's the size of the bricks. Then you also have the amount. If you want it bigger, wider, you want it higher, maybe lower, and also the depth of the wall that you can set. So you can just make a big block if you need to. And then here we have the mortar offset. As you can see, like the mortar goes deeper inside. You can also drag it outside. That doesn't really look nice. So and here we have a single brick that is being shown now, and you can also set it to double bricks. So then it separates the brick into two, and you have a proportion that you can set. So you can set it to 0.5, then both bricks are the same. So you can make patterns like this. But you can also put it like this special bond, which is, I think it's called an English bond. You can see it in a lot of houses here in the Netherlands. And it's easy to create this way. But maybe you want a different proportion. Like when you set it to 0.3, looks quite nice. You also have the option to flip it randomly, and then you get like a random wall. If you then scale up your bricks a little bit, like you have a really nice randomness. And also, as you can see here, they all line up at the end and go around the corner, and they all nicely interlock. So that's done with the random flip. So if we go over this, we have also like a bevel radius that you can add more bevel. You can also add more resolution to the bevel, so you get a more rounded brick. I will leave that here at 1, so it's a nice sharp edge. Then next we have portals. If you turn on portals by image, you can upload an image to show you in rendering. This is the image that I created. So 2 black rectangles, and where it's black it will take away the brick. It really works best with squares. Like making rounded things doesn't look so nice. Yeah, you can test it if you want, but basically you can just pick your image here. I also have a square, so it just makes a portal. And it's a window here. You can make a nice window frame if you need to make some kind of facade with windows. So that's basically how it works with the portals. Then we have translation. Like this is no translation. You can say a random translation. Like here you can see we can better turn off the mortar. it will translate randomly, and we have a minus value, so it goes in a certain value and it comes out a certain value. And this way, yeah, you can give it some randomness. We have also randomness slider that you can take in and out, so how much random bricks you want to displace or translate. Then we have also by image, and now it's taking the portal's image, so it's over here. If we turn off the portal image, the portals, here you can see it translates also by this amount and by the image. So you can use all kinds of crazy patterns. I also had a dot pattern that you can see here, like it translates all these circles. And then we also have by node, and what that means is when you go into your node tree here, you have a node input and you can make all kinds of crazy things happen with the Blender patterns. So here I put in a wave texture, and I also gave it a displacement by another wave texture. That's why you get this zigzag pattern. And I also animated the position. And if we then press play, you can see that the bricks animate. So it animates now the displacement or the translation. And that's how that works. We also have rotation. So if I turn off this one, like as you can see here, this setup is plugged into the translation input, rotation input and material input. So if I put it to this option of by node, it will get its information from this little setup over here. So let's go into the bigger view. We can go into rotation. Again, by random, they all randomly rotate. And we have a min and minus value. You can make more or less rotate depending on what you want. Maybe I can show you the single brick, then you can also see what happens. Maybe a little bit more. Put this to 2 and this one to, or minus 3 and 3, so it's a little bit cleaner. And then you can set the amount of bricks that you want to rotate randomly. I set it to 0.5 now. Put this one to 3 maybe. And then by image, you can see I'm using the dot pattern here as well. And then give it more or less rotation. So you can make all kinds of crazy things that you can think of. Make a really nice image with maybe a gradient in Photoshop, and then these bricks will slowly rotate. And then next, node by input. Now all the bricks rotate by this wave pattern, and it's also animated. So you can see they slowly rotate. And then next, the last one, we have materials. So we can say, if we put this one back to a double brick, here we can see we have 2 bricks with 2 colors. Primary brick is just the red one. We have a secondary brick, which is the small one, which is a yellowish tone now. If I put this one to A, like, let's turn this one to no rotation, you can see that they all have the same color. But I can just pick other colors for the second brick. And we also have a dominant color. And if I choose that dominant color, now it's brick D material, and set it to by randomness, like it will overlap the other colors that you have. So you can change that value the same as the others. And then we see the whole wall change. And then also with this one we have by image, so it's using the dots. Show you what happens when I use the portals this way, and also as the other options by node. And if we animate this, you can see the wave pattern go up. Like there is a randomness to it, so you can also see that it's like pretty jittery if you animate this, but you can make some nice animations as well. So what you can then do is turn them all on by node, this one by node, this one by node. And then you can make these kind of really crazy architectural things. So it works from the front and the back, and the sides stay flat because it has to offset and translate them in one axis, in the x-axis. Next to the brick generator, we also have a tile generator, and it works a bit the same way. Here you see what happens, what you can do with it. We have also a lot of parameters here. We have different bonds, so we can have a running bond, which is zigzagging. We have a stack bond, which is just like a grid. We can change the size of the tiles to make it look any way we want. Maybe we want very narrow tiles, like here in between. You can, with a pattern, choose a tile split and a rotation. We have a tile margin, so if you want less or more margin in between, then we can say how many we want vertically or in depth or in the z-axis, so you can make all the sizes that you like. Then we have a plinth or wainscot, and if we drag this bar, you can see you can take away tiles from the bottom to have a plinth. You can also put it in the middle and say wainscot, and then it's tiled like a hallway. I usually set it to plinth and then remove just one tile from the bottom. Excuse me. Then we have double tiles. You can say by randomness, and then you can drag this to get double tiles randomly. And we also have by image, and here we can set an image. I'm currently using a pattern that I got from the internet, a harem pattern. It's a textile with different colors and panels, and it's using this information to make the, let's go to layout. Here we have a nice big view. So it's using this pattern to create this tile separation, that you have half tiles here and whole tiles here. But you can also just set it to random. But for now, let's use image. Then we have also rotate tiles by randomness. So you can randomly rotate your tiles as well. And we can say by image. And then it's not using this, it's using the image of the square at the moment. Rotation image. If we use this one from Heron, you see a band here of tiles that don't rotate, and these ones will rotate. So if we say double tiles by randomness, here you can see also that the rotation is done by the rotation image. So maybe let's put this back to image. So we have whole tiles here. Then we also have by modulo, and then it just does it every other tile. So you get a nice checkerboard pattern. But let's keep it by image. Here we have the color system. You can also say color by image. Now it's taking the image, the Maharan pattern. You can also say by modulo, and then you can have two colors, also like a checkerboard pattern. And we have a randomness. So if we do this, like, you can get random colors also. But let's use image. Here by color modulo, we can also say how big we want the modulo to be. So it can skip more bricks. But if you put it at 2, you get a checkerboard pattern. Let's say by image, randomness, scale, shade. Oh, randomness, shade. We can say randomness, and then yeah, with that one we let's go back to this double color. We can add a randomness in the shades that you pick here. So you get slightly darker tiles in some places, because when you create real tiles, they usually have a little bit of color difference, and that's what you can do here. So I had that to 0.1, so you see slight differences, which makes it look more realistic. And then we have here the sides. So if we see this wall, there are tiles on almost all the sides, but we can turn them off. So we can say I want only in the front, I want tiles, and the rest I don't want to show. Like you can copy this wall and connect it here to make some kind of a open structure or a room, and you can use these just to reduce the calculation time and just remove a lot of these tiles that you are not using. Then here also we have portals. We can say no portals, then it's just a big wall. And with portals we can set doors and windows. For this system I made, if we go to rendering, I'm using this image, and it sees red as doors and blue as windows. And the difference between them is that windows have glass and doors have no glass. So you can say I want no frames, or I want just window frames. So you get them here, and this is just open. You can also put in your own doors and windows. And you can only use the door, and then you get a wooden beam here. You can change also the materials. You can find all the materials in shading and then change it in the way that you want. So let's put this to all frames for now. And then you can also change the thickness of these things, also for the door and the depth, both of these. So you can make any kind of style that you want. We are also working on a pillar version. As you can see, works in the same way. We have the width and the height that you can change. We have a radius that we can change. So you can make it very sharp or very round. You have the tile size that you can change. That is the same. And a margin. And we can flip the tiles also, like to have a plinth or a wainscot. If we go back to this, we have a pattern offset. So you can see it's wrapping the image around, and here's the seam. We can offset it, and then it will slide it around the pillar. So this is really nice to have an option to create something for a metro station, or maybe something else where you want to have rounded walls. And you can also even smooth the shape, as you can see here. Like make it very smooth, or make it look like a radius. This is also in the tool, but we will be developing this further and add more parameters. So I hope this is useful, and see you in the next one. Okay, bye.